Welcome to Botches Off-Road. Join us as we talk about everything from gear reviews to trail stories, tent camping to rock landing, and all things to do with the outdoors. Today is kind of a wrap, but it's a wrap on a Tuesday. I know it's weird. It feels wrong. But we did our third gen camping weekend, and I figured that an hour-long episode was a lot more beneficial than a little half-hour wrap-up. So we got Mr. Shane and Duncan on with us. I think that's pretty much everyone. We did have the Rover guy show up, but
he doesn't count.
The main focus of the weekend is all here.
Yeah, core group's all here.
Third gens and more
broken as well.
I'm not sure about that. I can't go over 35 anymore.
I still smell gas. It's not leaking. So, superficial.
So, I mean, I can't say that nothing's broken. Just, you know, when we left Evart and we're driving down to Riggs and Coffee, that drive on the expressway was really sketchy, and it just progressively got worse.
I was definitely just out of balance from how much mud I had packed in my wheels.
That's what I thought.
I was getting crazy vibrations.
That's what I thought was going on too. So I sprayed out my wheels and it made it worse.
Cool.
My truck complained about his needed oil change after the long drive with the trailer. But other than that's fine.
That's just because it's time for an oil change.
It is. Yeah. It is time for an oil change.
Well, yeah, and for the record, Alex and I were very responsible. We did our oil changes before the weekend.
I did do my oil change the weekend before. I was responsible for once.
Exactly. Yeah, and I dipped my finger in mine a few times, and I didn't see anything shiny, so the 5PZ continues to live. 150.
It's always a plus.
You've only got 150,000 miles on that thing?
Uh-huh. Yeah, and somehow, despite having 150,000 miles, my truck seems to be in the worst shape. All the rust. I guarantee it's just the fact that it wasn't driven a lot. Because you're third gen from the Midwest, right, Alex?
It's pretty rusty, man.
Is yours a rust belt car, or did it come
it was from Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Yeah, I mean, mine did sit for a few years, so I wonder if they just brushed it. Got salt in there, and then it just sat in someone's yard for a long time with it just eating away at things.
I mean, my frame was definitely a worse shape than yours. Your frame's not too bad.
No, knock on wood, no, from everything we've seen.
It's it's weird because my car rusted, the frame rotted, and then like the rockers rotted. Yours, it's like everything else.
I know. It's fantastic. Yeah, that damn rack joint is here.
That's just weight reduction.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'll definitely have to disassemble it and angle grind. The other question is, where do I stop cutting? Because, Shane, I think yours came from down south, didn't it? I don't know.
Mine's a southern truck.
Pennsylvania.
It was like a year in Florida and came back from Virginia,
that's what it was.
In like 2018, somewhere in there, when I ran the Carfax on it. So it's not spent its entire life in the Rust Belt, but it's got touches. They've just been diligent about recoating it each winter so that frame holds on better than the Discos did.
Yeah, speaking of the Disco, that showed up to third gen weekend. We got to check her out.
I made you almost want one.
I changed my mind. I don't want one anymore.
After watching it almost roll?
Yeah, that's kind of what turned my opinion on it. It had absolutely no flex whatsoever.
Yeah, if you have the heavy duty springs on it and aren't running detachable sway bars, or just sway bar deletes, There's no downward flex.
Literally, the only way that guy got through that obstacle was his skinny pedal. And that almost resulted in a pretty bad accident.
Yeah.
That was almost a catastrophic rollover.
I mean, we're talking like 2 inches from a tree. Like, it was pretty scary. The video doesn't do it justice.
No, he almost rolled it if it wasn't for the steel rear, and then launched out of the rut almost straight into a tree.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me when I was at Marblehead in that last little bit. I decided to just go at it, but his was like way sketchier.
His was
than
way
that.
sketchier, dude. It was so bad.
It's interesting because I feel like all my close calls are the opposite. Like I'm in the moment and I'm like, oh god, I was surprised I made it through that, and then I watched the video back and it looks like nothing happened.
Yeah, no,
And I'm
the
like,
video.
that's a good problem to have though, you know. Like if it's just sketchy in my head, that's better than
The
being
video
sketchy.
does not do it any justice. So
No.
the problem with videotaping obstacles are they make everything flat. So it makes every obstacle look easy, even if it's really hard.
Yeah.
I know. I don't know what the fix is to that. I tried zooming in, and that kind of helped put it in perspective a little bit, but then you also only see like a tiny little frame.
I don't know that there really is a fix for it. It's just kind of the nature of the beast.
The only thing I've found that really kind of highlights difficulty of obstacles is doing a fender mount with a GoPro so that it's at the wheel, because then you see all the up and down travel. But then again, on a GoPro, it's self-stabilizing. So you can be banging yourself around and it looks like a mildly bumpy dirt road.
That's not even how my iPhone worked. I just had to hit my little phone holder and just point it out towards the dash. And I was watching some of them back with Alex, and I was like, man, this felt way bumpier and plus the rest of the video looked completely still.
So
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Little squirrel thought here. Does Duncan sound okay to everyone? Because he's kind of really quiet to me.
Yeah, I've got good audio on.
Okay, I just want to make sure because I don't want the recording to be a bunch of Duncan just being quiet.
Might not be the worst thing. I can hold the microphone in front of me too, like this.
Oh, it also really helps if I turn your volume up on my video call.
I was about to say.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I'm charging my phone, so I can't use my regular gaming headsets.
Gotcha. Darn modern tech and taking away our headphone jack.
Don't even get me started. That is a hill I will die.
I guess there's supposedly big generations trying to bring it all back again.
Mark, we use Zunes every day.
I heard someone that they're, I'm trying to remember which group, but they're buying VHS tapes and everything because they're getting tired of the streaming services.
Well, they're idiots. They just need to set up a server in their basement and steal it all. It's way more affordable.
Or just get DVDs. It'd be easier to find a DVD player.
Especially since VHS is nearing the end of life and starting to, degrade and not be good anymore.
Oh, 100%.
I feel like that should be the next camping buy, is you get a mini projector set up. We can watch it and have movie nights out there.
I definitely have a mini projector that I bought in Korea in 2015. So you know that it's really good quality.
Honestly, if we all just huddle around, whoever has the biggest phone, we can just huddle around this. Just sit on the tailgate of this truck. We'll just squint.
Yeah, my projector was my main TV for 3 years. My entire time in the Army. Would get it up to 120 inches and 720p. So it's not terrible.
No, it worked well enough. I remember we had one at the Beta Theta Phi fraternity house down at Michigan State University. That was the entirety of everything that we watched on TV. We would take sheets on a big screen. So everything was just horribly white.
Yeah.
So not a good time. And God forbid somebody banged against the wall too hard and the thing slid off. Definitely a few concussions. But, you make do, and it's the experience too. It's the fun of being camping and being to watch a movie. God knows.
Yeah, it can't be too nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we don't want to think we have fun at these camping weekends. Then miserable stuff breaks. We spend the whole time fixing.
So, yeah, I guess we can start at the beginning a little. So, me, Duncan, and Mark convoyed up on Friday to Evart, Michigan.
Yep.
We got started a little late. I don't think we left till like 1.
Yeah.
Like 1,
It was
1:30.
around 1-ish.
But
Yeah.
I know we were pretty much set up by 4. Duncan went into town at 4 to see if there were anybody who showed up to the event. And because y'all hate us, nobody showed up to the event.
No, I'll tell you though, I was sitting there in the parking lot and I saw like a couple of Jeeps pull in. And I was like, oh, somebody didn't like not get the memos. Don't. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to turn them away. But no, they just drove out again. So, no such
Yes.
luck.
So we had a pretty good setup. I would say it's probably one of my favorite campsite setups we've ever had.
The setup was awesome. Those light fighter tents are legit for solo camping.
They're amazing for solo
100%.
camping.
Solo camping.
That-
Unless you brought 2 dogs with you.
Okay. Both dogs slept.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, okay, foreshadowing. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the light fighter tents were sick. And even your guys' tents, I don't know if you looked at the picture, but they kind of match.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not intentional, but I'll take it. I'll say it was intentional because it looks.
It looks really professional. 2 red and white tents on either side, and then just a perfect uniform row of light fighters. I mean, it was beautiful.
Fighters.
And then
That and the kitchen gazebo came in real clutch with the rain.
that
So good.
Yep.
that
It's such a
gazebo
good
is such a
purchase.
good buy. That's what
Mhm.
Vevor makes that.
Yeah, it was like Vevor or something like that.
So-
Yeah, Viva.
Vevor 6-sided octagonal awning. Quick setup. I mean, it takes us like 5 minutes to set up and tear down. It's nothing.
As long as we're not lollygagging.
What's up?
As long as we're not lollygagging about
Oh,
it.
well, I mean, actual work time is like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just pop it up like you would a deer blind and stake it down, and she's ready to go.
Is it the 12.5 by 12.5 one?
Yeah, that one's
You know
12 by
off the top of your
12.
head? It is. Yeah, so if you go into the website, Vevor, Vevor, $182.
Yeah.
So, and I think we'd all agree that it's fantastic purchase. Like, because the biggest thing for
100%.
me was when it was colder, and I wasn't too worried about it, but I was semi-worried about it that we were going to get out there, we were going to be cooking, hanging out. It was going to be like 50 degrees, and no one's going to want to hang out and have a conversation with each other. But just being able to get onto that thing, it blocked the wind really well. When we were cooking, it held the heat. And like we were even able to get the the fire pit that we had towards the entrance to the door, and I mean it was fantastic. Kept everything dry, kept everyone warm, not too noisy, didn't fall over. So
Yeah, and the hard panels are nice because you can put the hard panels up and block the wind and everything, and then if you need some more air, you just let the top half of it droop down, and boom, there's airflow.
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, so we got all set up. That first night, we didn't really do anything. We just waited around for Shane to show up because he lollygags.
Yeah, I
and-
didn't hit the road until about 5 o'clock, 5:30, because had to get the boys out of school and they finished the last few things packing up. So I got out there, I think around 7:30 at night.
Mm-hmm.
Quick setup. Trailer pulled really well. For dedicated camping weekend, that's definitely the route to go.
Yeah.
And on the way out there, I thought, because I passed a Tacoma pretty similar to yours, Mark, and I thought they might have been heading out that way because they had Indy plates. And I was like, oh man, they left the gas station before I got a chance to see what they were doing. And I'm like, if you're wheeling, head out to Evart.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I think the plan is to advertise a little better as to draw people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like, I like that it's just our core group, but it would be cool to see a couple other rigs, or if Brian ever actually followed through and like, yeah, I'll be there for sure this time.
Hoorah.
No, you won't.
That was
Listen
this
to
time.
Brian, you're a liar.
He was for sure going to be there this time, and he bailed on us.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was working. I forget exactly what project he was working on. But
He was working
Yeah,
on
he was saying someone paid him to do their serpentine belt, and I think brakes. So he's like, as easy as it was, I couldn't say no.
oh,
Yeah.
I don't even want to hear the B word after doing this swap. I was looking around, and I've spoken to several people. I upgraded to a GM 1-ton master cylinder on my 3rd gen, and all the examples I saw, the reservoir split. The big one from the back near the firewall, the little one just split reservoir. And everyone said, yeah, front brakes just go to the back, same as with the stock setup. But mine is flipped, so I'm almost certain to have it backwards, which means we're going to need to do the whole brake lead debacle. And my stall is not ready.
I brought that up.
Well, everyone I spoke to said that it goes that way, and my thinking was that the master cylinder passes that port first, so it has the most pressure. But I don't know if that's fully how master cylinders work. And I spoke to the trail gear guys, and they said, yeah, it should be the other way. But yeah, so me and brakes, but didn't pop a leak, didn't slam into the back of the Discovery at any point, went downhill. Well, okay. I came pretty close a couple times, but I managed to get the brake on. And when Mark and I took the bypass at a later point, I was going down that hill way too fast. Couldn't stop.
Oh, 100%.
And I was going backwards. And we folded one of the mirrors in, so I couldn't see. But that's a story for later in the podcast. So,
Yeah. We don't. I don't want to talk about mirrors being folded in quite yet.
I know. Gosh. Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, you've only got one to fold in.
Hey, well, yeah, that means we all folded a mirror in at some point over the weekend.
Yeah.
Do they have electric folding mirrors for third gen?
No. So,
well, if you're listening, anyone, you want to design one?
Make one.
We have, there's three good buyers right here. We'll pay for it.
I want holographic mirrors that don't actually exist but still show me what's behind me.
I was about to say, just have it where programs knowing there's an obstacle is going to take it out and just
I was saying when we rented one of the brand new Discoveries, it must have been like it was brand new. It was like 19. That thing had cameras on all 4 wheels. Mind you, I was just driving down dirt roads, like it was a fancy vacation. I wasn't feeling anything, but you could see all 4 wheels the whole time you were driving. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
but you also couldn't fold down the seats manually. You had to press a button, so it was aggressive. Thing was way too.
Yeah, so we Shane finally showed up, and we kind of hung out by the fire with under the awning by the fire because it was raining pretty good by this point.
Yep.
I got set up just before the rain hit hard.
Yeah, we drank quite a bit of beer that night. I think we drank more beer Friday night than Saturday night.
Yeah.
Trying to take the edge off the fact that we might break stuff the next day.
Yeah.
I think we were all work. Like I said, like you don't understand. Like when I was doing that brake swap, like we like bleed the brakes, and you get good, and you're like, "Oh, it's pretty good pedal feel," and then something would just start leaking out of for no reason. No reason. You're like, "Oh, it's leaking." You'd be like, "No, it's like, why would it start leaking out?" And then you tighten up, bleed them again. Oh, it's good pedal pressure, and you're like, "Oh, that's leaking." I was certain I was going to break. Absolutely certain. And then, we had the experience last year with the mud and the water and everything, and so I was like, I bet one was all. But again.
Oh, yeah. I was expecting a lot deeper mud and water this year with the storms we've had come through.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't gotten hot yet because we were late summer last year, and it was significantly wetter.
Yeah, I was
about to say, I think the mud was gnarly at Poker Run than it was this time.
It was way gnarlier at Poker Run. Yeah, I was really impressed with how dry Evart was. It made, especially that last mud puddle that we all went through, that one scares me, and that was really dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were all talking about how undramatic everyone's looked until mine went through on stuck right height.
Yeah, you made it. Yours made it look like it should.
Yeah, we
like I was born in a Kodak.
We all go through, and it's just like a little sploosh, and then you go through, and it's like you're at your hood.
yeah, pushing a big bow wake. Yeah, because it's on stuck right height, and we're planning to fix that before we do our Leatherwood trip. But yeah, for right now, it has the added benefit of making everything look incredibly dramatic. The problem, though, is that it also feels dramatic from inside the can down to a worry wall. So I was panicking.
Yeah.
And to add insult to injury, the little scan gauge I have voltage set up on that. So I remember, I think I said this last year, when Shane went through and found out his alternator in a big puddle, it just got soaked with mud and water. I went through the bypass, and, it was deep, but not as deep. But yeah, water came up over the hood, and I got through, and I was reading good voltage, and I was like, oh, great. And then out of nowhere, 12 volt. It was like 11 volts, and I was like, oh no. And then it jumped back up to 15, and I was like, oh. So, it's a good thing to have, but I also feel like I just worry myself about it the more.
Yeah, it's just the fact that you can see it, and just that's not going the direction it should.
I know. Yeah, I think there's benefits to having a lead foot like Alex. Yeah, you kind of everything just seems undramatic, and you just fly through it quick. So,
dude, I was trying so hard to go slow enough for you, but to me, I don't feel it. I can drive down the road and barely feel the road, and you're like, bro, I can't keep up.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I need to slow down. I was getting thrown all over the place. Yeah, me and Mark, and I'm like, man, I feel so bad, because Mark was grunting every single time he went to a bump, and I was like, he is not going to want to ride with me again. But
no, you're good.
Joseph will always ride with you.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't usually ride passengers, so it's been a good bit since I've done that.
I
know.
I definitely remember whatever it feels like stock ride height, because I drove the black truck with stock front shocks through there, and I thought I was going to die. It was the worst experience of my life.
Well, they're also 25 years old, 26 years old in my vehicle.
Okay, yeah, so the black trucks are brand new, so.
Yeah, so the age definitely doesn't help, but yeah, we're planning to fix it.
Yeah, and then, man, we kind of jumped way ahead. I don't even remember what the first obstacle we did was. Oh, it was the
first obstacle was that hill climb.
Yeah,
with
the small hill climb.
890 at the top.
Yep. The baby Evart hill climb, because the big Evart hill climb got shut down because they hate us.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I think we were all pretty convinced there's an accident there at some point, right? I don't know when.
There had to have been an accident at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think we all got through that hill climb without any real dramatics. Do we even have videos from that hill climb?
No, I don't think so.
I'll have to look back. I might have a video of you going up.
Did Alan record?
Dude,
yeah, Alan got out. I know there's a video of mine going up, but wait, this year it was a lot more packed than it has been in the past. Last 3rd Gen weekend, that hill was loose.
Yeah.
And you had to take 2-3 goes at it, and we tried traction boards on it.
But that was before we knew how to lock his center diff.
It was, yeah. Perks of knowing how those center diffs work, and there's a forum thread on T4R for anyone else who has what is it, multi-mode? The transfer case I have or something like that. It's almost like a J-shift case, but yeah. There's a forum thread on T4R.com, and they explain what each of the different modes do. So if you have one of those, I'd recommend reading through it and getting very familiar with what you can do, because like Shane alluded to last year, I didn't really know what I was doing. And I think the first few attempts, I really loosened it up. And then Alex came in. He was like, well, let's do, low 4 locks. Let's go into, 2, and then let's try the hill. And that was probably the best attempt I had. And this go around, I had that thought first time, and I went straight up it.
Yeah.
So to my surprise, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, here we go again. Yeah, Duncan's getting stuck in the first obstacle. But made it all the way through, couldn't believe it. But then I had to deal with the downhill section, which was almost scarier.
The downhill on that one now is actually more challenging than the uphill. Because
if you hit it the other way,
rock has kind of gotten washed around, so you've got more clearance off that rock on driver's side now.
Now, if you do it the other way, it's almost more fun because you're supposed to do it the other way. We always do it backwards.
Oh, yeah. Nobody told me.
But, I mean, either way, the obstacle's fun either direction. It's gotten pretty well washed out and worn on both sides that it's about... Excuse me, I'm sorry. It's pretty on par with each other either direction, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really... After that, we just kind of rode... Oh, after that, I accidentally took us on a hiking trail.
Yeah.
I don't have much video of that, but that trail was really fun.
That was a really good trail.
Yeah, it's a little bit wider than the truck, a little bit shorter than the truck, and lots of off-camber and loose leaves, and it's just a good trail. Everything about it is fun.
It is. Yeah.
It was. Yeah. Yeah, and credits to the third gens too. That's one of the nice things is that they are so narrow. You know, I can't. I've said it so many times in the weekend. I can't fathom going through there with how it is.
Or
so,
a disco.
You know, make sure you don't care about the pain.
How did he get through that with the disco?
Is the disco as narrow as third gens?
It's definitely wider.
A little bit wider, but the height is the big setback on the disco, especially with that safari rack. It's so tall.
It is.
Yep.
What is it? It's a first generation Discovery, right?
That one's a 2.
Oh, it's a Disco 2.
Yep.
What year is it?
04.
04.
So the last of the second gens. So one more year and we would have had all third gens for the wheeling portion.
Yeah, then we got to that mud hole that we were talking about that was drier than we expected. And I mean, usually we take the Vagina Trail there. That's literally, there used to be a sign on a tree that says Vagina Trail.
Yeah.
So usually we take that, but this time around I decided to just go for it because it was dry enough, and I don't think anyone even struggled a little bit on that.
No, really, the only part to be technical on it was angling in on the approach, because there's that big washout section with the drop down. But once you were in it, I mean, we all walked that pretty easily. Vagina Trail, the Alternator Killer, whatever you want to call that trail, because that's the one that toasted mine last year. Because it washed well over my hood.
Yeah. So then we got to next was the wading section, or I want to call it a water crossing, but it's not really a water crossing.
Yeah, it's just a trench. So it's a good, what do you say, maybe like
600
30,
feet?
50 yard wading.
Yeah.
Pass.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's pretty long. It's not crazy deep. I'd say
no,
but I mean, it's cool. You get some cool videos from it. And if
you didn't want to do Connor solo, it's a good one to do.
Yep, for sure. And
yeah, I can post the videos of all of us going through that wading section to both the Instagram and Facebook page if anyone's curious about any of these trails.
I think I already have videos of this on Instagram.
We've got a lot of them up there that have been slowly coming in. I've been waiting on the full video dump until after we release episode.
I've been doing like 2 reels a day has been my number. Yeah. That way I can stretch out the content for a little while.
Yeah, hold content until Leatherwood.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, that was a pretty cool event, or a pretty cool obstacle. And then not long after that, we come up to the best thing Evart has to offer. So, how would you even describe that washed out mess?
It's probably a good like 300 yards of gnarly off-camber, and just through the main portion of it, the off-camber itself is challenging enough. If you have sway bars connected, because there's significant travel. And then the rut at the end of that, would you say that's probably 3 foot deep?
Oh, it's deeper than that, because
almost like 4 or 5.
I'd say almost 5 foot, because when I dropped my tire in there, I mean, it doesn't help that I laid the truck on its side right there. So, yeah, I had 2 wheels in the rut and 2 wheels in the air. It was great. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. It was great for the truck. It bent my mirror backwards, and that was about all it did, really. Because I was mostly resting on my bumpers, and those both were sanded to raw metal for sure. But
yeah,
and you wouldn't even.
Yeah, I think I've got a picture of you while you were on your side, and I was waiting for you to get out of that to see how bad the door panels were. So I'm like, they're just gonna be torn up. But hey, props to the bumpers. They caught the weight of it. Yeah. And you don't even have any bending or denting on the bumper. It just sanded it down to raw metal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, credit where it's due, though. Alex does spend a lot of time on its side, third gens. You know, I mean, that's the only way to get through Skid Hill. Like, you need to play the thing inside the crawler. And, you know, for me, never having done it, that was nerve-wracking enough. I was like, I cannot tip this thing over. But those forerunners take it, you know, they really do. You know, you might sacrifice a mirror here or there, but... And like, you didn't have a locker either, did you, Alex?
No, I don't have my locker rebuilt yet. I'm still running no locker. If I had a locker, I would have made it through that rut instead of bypassing it, but...
I kind of wish my suspension didn't need adjusted, because I would love to tackle that hill after New Year's.
Dude, it's so much worse than it was at New Year's.
New Year's, it was condition-wise, I'd say tougher, just because it was wet and it was sloppy. But yeah, there's probably a good extra foot of depth on that rut compared to New Year's. Because I know Busted to Built went through there, following us, and then that Power Wagon on 40s went back through there. And like you said, every time we go back to that trail, it's just beat up harder and harder.
I still don't understand why the video you got of me going through that, it uploaded in 360 and won't let me watch it in any other quality.
The one I uploaded?
Yeah.
I'll see if I can upconvert and send it to you direct.
I'm actually
going through the SharePoint.
Yeah, Google just... Actually, both the videos you sent are 360.
Okay, I'll take a look, because, yeah, if I can upconvert that for you, that was once I edited down, it was a really good video.
Yeah, there's...
I mean...
Despite all the videography issues we had on arguably the best trail to get videos on.
Oh my God. Hey man, I'm going to put you in the middle. Take a video of me. Okay, gets a picture. A picture.
At the start of the trail.
Yeah.
Oh, he tried. That's the most fun thing. What can you... It was. And I mean, for those not looking for the adventure of the main trail, I can vouch for the fact that even the bypass stuff, you'll definitely want to do it with four-wheel drive already engaged, which I didn't do. And I got halfway up the trail and realized, I probably need four-wheel drive. Because there is a bypass. If you go left from the entry to that, you kind of go down a hill into like a tiny little meadow, and then start climbing up the same direction as that trail. And about halfway, you come to a tree root that you'll definitely need a 4-wheel drive to climb one over. Like I said, not something I realized until I hit the tree root, and so I was like, "Well, I can't get out of this. I'm gonna have to back down the hill." And Mark had to pull the mirror into we're gonna lose it on a tree. And all the I have a rear disc conversion, so all the rotors are covered in sand and mud and water at that point. So it was just me some level of control, just falling back down a hill.
Yes.
And trying to guess at where the middle of the trail was and taking out half the branches. Yeah, and then the disco was sitting at the bottom, and he was like, "You couldn't even get it on the bypass." And I was like, "No." So, it was fun though.
I don't think he fully understood that, like, your truck is very early days of build. It hasn't really made it that far into a build yet.
No.
Yeah.
It's got all the roots of
Yeah.
an awesome build, though.
Here soon, that build's going to be insane.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we just need to build both the lockers. Obviously Alex burned out right now. We spent, the $70 to get Toyota's whatever the heck body gel stupid dielectric paste. Insane. There was not a cheaper option. Well, there's one from China. They wanted like $12 for with shipping. So you're just gonna have to cough it up to the dealership if you want to rebuild your rear locker. But it looks like you can get about 4 or 5 rebuilds out of the little pot of dielectric grease they give you. So once we do that, we throw the suspension from the controller on. Should be good to go. And then I just got the F-150 fuel tank.
Oh, did you sick?
Mocking that up.
Oh,
yep.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sure the Amazon driver was thrilled with lugging that to my back door.
So
yeah.
See, after that trail, we went back to camp.
'Cause you and I went up and down that trail.
Right. Yeah, we went up and down.
Both ways.
The disco took the bypass. Yeah.
He did. Yeah, but I tried to take
I'm surprised the disco fit down that bypass.
It's
I was looking at it. The stats are in. The disco is 74.5 inches wide, and the Toyota 4Runner is 70.
Yeah, so it's a little bit wider.
Barely.
Yep.
Barely,
4 inches.
but
Barely.
hey, you can do a lot with 4 inches. Just ask my wife.
You can. Amen. That is something that we stand on this podcast.
Yeah, so then we went back to camp, and I kind of took a nap and found 3 ticks in like 5 minutes. That was fun. There were a lot of ticks this weekend.
Yeah,
Thankfully, we managed to stay clear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't have any on me.
Since we got back, I haven't found any, but while we were there, I found a lot. Yeah, we took a little bit of a nap, and then we went to the what would you even call that hill climb area? Scramble area?
Yeah, just a scramble area. They've got like a center mud pool and
Like
5,
10.
6 different hill climb areas.
There's so many.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it's
if you go up each route, I'm counting like doing the full loop up and
Right.
down as
Yeah.
one. But there's that long one that's all loose sand. Both up and down, and that one's pretty tight because it's just a narrow chute, and the downhill is trickier there because you've got really loose sand, just trying to sled down and
With
trying
the
to keep off the walls.
With a turn that
Yeah.
Joe Yamber definitely broke his mirror off on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Sequoia. Let's clarify what vehicle
Yeah,
that was. It was a Sequoia. A big ass hip hole.
But yeah, that area is pretty cool because it's pretty much a choose your own adventure. I could spend a few hours just hanging out there. We could honestly bring a little grill and just make our food there one day and play on the rocks. I mean, because that's the other thing is it's not just sand. There's a couple that are kind of rockier hill climbs.
Yeah, there's those 2 hill climbs on, I think, north side that are pretty rocky.
Yeah.
And going up or down in either direction on those ones is a lot of fun. I had William in my lap steering for those. Mostly steering. I did a couple corrections here and there, but
the one that go ahead.
I was going to say they're pretty doable as well. Like it's not technical. You just kind of take your time. Don't go slamming through the rocks, but like even I made mostly stuck.
Yeah. My favorite that I still want to tackle is that one coming in and out that's super washed out with
that
rocks.
You started in.
Oh, the rocks.
I mean, I did the bottom part of that rock garden on the way out this time. I just, with not having a locker, I knew I couldn't get through the rest of it, so I kind of held back.
Yeah.
But it's a really gnarly little climb. I can't wait to do it for real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with locker setup, that'd be a really fun one to do.
I think it's a good one for the bucket list this year. If we get back out there, but again, I think we will probably for a few more of the trips we got after Leatherwood. It'd be cool to see if we can get through that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, we went back to camp and had our little potluck, which with just the just us, it wasn't that much of a potluck.
Not much of a potluck, but the walking tacos were clutch. Those saved me with how long mine takes to cook.
That thing that you made was amazing.
It was amazing.
Dude, that is, like I said in our previous episode, that is my absolute go-to because it takes a while, but it's so easy. Because I just set it directly in the fire pit and I can hang out, have a drink, run around, shoot the shit, and half hour, 40 minutes later, it's ready to go.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, so we kind of bullshitted for a little while and then went to bed. See, how far are we? Do we want to drag these stories out a little more? No, we're at 45 minutes, so we're good.
Because I had to dip out. I left probably around 9 o'clock Saturday night.
Yeah.
And then we got up and tore camp down. Well, we tore most of camp down Saturday night.
Yeah, we took care of the campy.
And then we got up and tore down the rest of it Sunday morning and loaded up. And we left for Riggs and Coffee at what, like 10:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30, somewhere in there?
10:30, it was somewhere around there.
Drove to Wesco, got some gas, and then got on the expressway. And I realized that anything over 65, it felt like my truck was going to rattle itself to pieces. And I just assumed it was mud. So I kept going and we got to Grand Rapids and there's like this, it's not the S curves, but they're like small S curves, if kind of. And going
the ones north of town.
The curves by the zoo.
Yeah, by the zoo.
By the zoo.
So as I was making those turns, my truck was dancing across the lanes.
Yep.
And I thought
behind you.
I thought that was pretty bad. So then we get to Riggs and Coffee, and I just kind of chalk it up to my wheels are full of mud. Yeah. So Riggs and Coffee was great.
It was.
Yeah, it was a good turnout.
And not just in numbers, but the people that were there were good. I mean, there are a lot of people that are just good people to talk to and fun people to make plans with. I'm trying to think of what all even happened. That whole day is kind of a blur to me. Oh,
we literally talked about the trailer and everything. We were very conversational that Sunday.
Yeah, everyone seems to like the trailer. I guess we did a good job building an off-road trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked well this weekend. It hauled all the gear. It bounced around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the pack out kitchen was definitely a point of conversation to quite a few people. Because we made photos, we were standing back there. A lot of people came through and checked out the kitchen and everything, the pack out setup we got on that. Yeah, it's a little more on the expensive side, but for what it does, for just being so modular, being able to pull it apart, pack it the way you want, it did a fantastic job. It really did. A lot of people like to check it out.
Yeah, I really hate Milwaukee, but they're the only ones that make a product that does what I want.
Yeah, I walked around Home Depot for a little while, and Rigid makes something similar, and maybe they have Husky ones, but they just. It's basically just a series of tubs, not sliding drawers or nothing locked into place.
And if they do
the closest one that hits close to what I'm looking for, but we've touched on this, the locking feature and mounting is nowhere near as good. The DeWalt one that has either a deep chest pull out or a dual drawer pull out, but it's not as sturdy.
Yeah. So, yeah, the DeWalt one, and the way they lock together, they've got these two flips that come up on either side and just kind of lock in. And one of the things that makes the pack out so special is you can buy plates that you can mount right to your truck or trailer, and there's no strapping involved. It just clicks in. And you can't do that with anybody else. But, I mean, whatever. I'll cough up the money for their super expensive boxes.
And it worked well. Everything stayed firm on the highway, even towing that trailer, what was it? Probably like an hour and 15 minutes to get up there from your place, Alex, and then probably an hour and a half to 2 hours back down, and nothing.
Yeah.
Well, no, okay. One of the canisters that was.
To be fair, though, it was not secured.
It was not, no, and that was, of all the things you could have lost, I think that was something you could have. But it held firm. Yeah, nothing really shook loose. Nothing came off. You don't have to pull over the side of the highway and rock across 3 lanes of traffic, picking up tools and sockets and things like that. So, if you want to mount your pack outs on the outside of a trailer, it works.
I felt really bad for those side-by-sides that were in the Scrambler area. We just walk up, skunk hat, matching Hawaiian shirts that are gaudy as hell. Like, we had to have looked like the biggest fucking goobers, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And our campsite...
That one side-by-side, though, that little mini quad one.
Yeah,
that thing's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a wild looking thing. It was almost like a single seated quad with almost like a pad built onto it. It's almost like if you took just a regular, four wheeler and just duck a side by side pad on it.
It had pedals and a steering wheel.
Yeah.
Yep.
It did. Yeah, probably not a lot of get up and go. I saw him trying to turn around on the hill, and it was a pretty undramatic, series of events. I don't know what the top speed in that thing was, but it was like a mobility scooter.
It was cool either way. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know, man. My truck's still broken. So I can't go over 35. Anyone else found anything else? Have anything fun come up since then?
Well, mine isn't from this excursion, but we did find out that I'm missing a bushing.
Yeah. Core support bushing is just gone. Yeah. No bolt, nothing.
No bolt. Bushing's just hanging out there.
Like whoever installed it did not finish it.
No, it's like they popped the bushing into place and said, "Nah, it's time to go to bed. I'll do that tomorrow." And then went on to the next.
And your bumper is only bolted on one side with one bolt. Like,
yeah, but
no front pulls for Shane, guys. No front pulls for Shane.
Well, just on the outer wings of it, it's missing. the core of the bumper is solidly mounted, but the outer mounts, only one's there.
Yeah, we definitely got
so center pulls only.
Well, and the thing is that the bolts that's missing on your passenger side, that goes through to the frame. That bolts the core of your bumper to the frame.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's that whole situation. We got to rectify it. That's not cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be a Friday project for sure.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I have a lower control arm here. It came today. So this weekend I'll be fixing that, and hopefully that fixes my shaking.
I'll be putting my new rear bumper on.
Yeah. And my little brother is going to do his brakes on his Tacoma at my house this weekend. And Duncan has all sorts of stuff to do. It's going to be a busy weekend.
Yeah, it will be.
Put the brake lines around, start mucking up the fuel tank. I want it to sound dead in the passenger compartment. I'm taking the GC8 down to, there's the first spring opener for the Subaru season in Lansing. So I'm going to go check that out Saturday. So, yeah, I'm not going to be doing any off-road obstacles or anything like that. So I'm not going to let that break anything.
Yeah.
But I think we already established that the hardest obstacle we faced all last weekend was US 131.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah, it
definitely gave us a run for our money.
dodging traffic.
Yep, it was the daily driving aspect. Yeah.
Turning
use the
corner.
vehicle for what it's intended for.
I'll tell you, turning that corner, my truck just dancing across 2 lanes. I was like, oh, God. It's not
Yep.
And driving back to reality.
It's not normally like that, so I know something's wrong. But
it's fixable though. You should be able to figure it out. So,
yeah, I'm at the point now where it's either lower control arm bushings. That's really all I think can cause the problem I'm having. So I'm hoping that fixes it. But yeah, that was our third gen weekend. We'll do another one next year, probably. I like doing it in April. I think that was way better than August.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was
For
too.
the camping aspect, it was a lot more enjoyable because we weren't just killing ourselves in the heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like camping in the summer too, but it was really nice camping in April.
Yeah, the campsite wasn't overgrown at all. I brought weed whacker and whatnot so we could clear up if we needed, but
yeah, we didn't have a single issue.
No.
No, it worked out well for the third gens too. The best time to take them wheeling is when you're early in the season. They haven't actually been out yet, had a chance to break. So if you leave it to the end of the summer and you do a bunch of trails beforehand, and they're hanging on by a thread, that you start to break stuff.
Yeah,
So
Do it before the main trip for the year.
I know. Yeah, we'll be crossing fingers and toes when we go down to Leatherwood. Yeah, because I mean it's like 8 or 9 hours to get there and 8 or 9 back.
Yeah.
So go on the dreaded highway again.
I don't know if you guys saw, but they started following Botches Off-Road on Instagram
I saw it today.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Yep.
So that was kind of cool.
No. They wanted to figure out what kind of recovery you had to have on site when we showed up. Yeah, make sure the skid steer's ready. You're going to need
The
a
helicopter.
winch, recovery boards. Yeah.
Oh, should we call the off-road
Yeah,
record?
get the paramedics on standby. Yeah, one of these idiots is going to roll it over, and God, the way they're driving through this thing, they're definitely going to get into an accident. I think they're probably trying to get their lawyers involved too, making sure they got enough insurance on the place too.
You know, looking at the list of people going, I think that we're the only ones with third gen Forerunners, me and you, Duncan. So
Man, well, when does sign up officially close for that, or is it kind of open up until the very end?
I have no idea.
Kind of feel like they should have closed it by now, but I could be wrong.
I think he said something about send the email in if you haven't already.
Yeah, I
so.
know. I saw this week he pushed like a last blast on it of if you haven't, get it to me now because it should be closed down soon here.
Yeah. So if you have a third gen 4Runner and you'd like to come along to Leatherwood and join the crew and maybe break a vehicle, then sign up, get involved. We can send you the info Instagram or wherever else you might be able to find us. Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm really excited for that trip.
I am too.
Yeah, I'm bummed I can't do that one.
Yeah. The darn Navy. I was gonna say the Army, but in your case, it's not the Army.
No, it's still the green weenie, though. It always wins.
If there's one thing that's unanimous across all the military branches is their ability to screw you over.
Wouldn't yours be the blue weenie?
No, we don't wear blue anymore.
Really? What do you like when you're on a ship?
We've got dress blues. Oh, yeah, coveralls, but
I said when you're on a ship, you wear green. That's weird. What's the Navy uniform even
coveralls
look like?
are blue. Type 3s, NWU Type 3s. That's pretty similar to MARPAT, but collar is different.
Wow, that is really ugly.
I mean, look at me.
That's soldier.
You know,
Nasty looking camis.
Hey, you can't talk with your
Dude,
ACUs back in your day.
I say we don't wear ACUs anymore. We wear OCP ACUs, and they're beautiful. No, I really liked the blue uniforms you guys had, though.
Oh, the blueberries.
When did they phase those out?
We had those when I started. We phased those out probably 19 would have been when I transitioned over to the Type 3s.
That was a bad choice. That was like an iconic uniform.
Well, it made absolutely no sense because the only place it would make sense would be on ship, and we don't wear those on ship. That, and being a welder, they're non-flame retardant.
Right.
So anytime I wanted a new set of uniforms, I would just like, all right, it's time to do some like torch cutting and put my legs underneath and just spark the hell out of them and be like, oh, I can't wear this uniform anymore.
They made us buy our own, so
give me new ones.
But on that note, before we turn into the Every Military Uniform Sucks podcast.
Yeah, the Salty Veterans podcast.
We'll
how to dip out.
So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of chaotic little episode. I'm sorry that we didn't give you a Friday wrap, but I hope this Tuesday wrap makes up for it. So we'll catch you guys later.
Later.
On to the next one.
Doors open, flying down the West Coast Drive. She said I can't focus, thought he could take it all. We're ready to late October.